Hello pilots and welcome to this X-Wing unboxing video brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. Today we're going to be opening up the Fury of the First Order Squadron pack, recently released from Asmodee and AMG. Really looking forward to getting this open. These ships look amazing, so let's have a look and see what we have inside. So first impression here is just how large these ships actually are. They are massive, especially these bombers. As you can see, they clearly go well over the base size. So this would be a really good opportunity to magnetize these ships, as I feel that they're going to get in the way of other ships quite quickly. I mean, if we look at the TIE Whisper here, that is extremely long. This has got to be one of the longest small base ships we have in the game, except for the original TIE Silencer. But this does look absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to get it on the board. That red on the cockpit is just fantastic. It really stands out. And as we said about the bomber, that's just such a mean looking profile. I would not want that staring down at me. And the black and white for the First Order effect is just absolutely brilliant. With some nice menacing red engine glow there at the back. Yeah, these ships are fantastic and I can't wait to get them on the board, so it's going to be really cool to see what kind of combinations we get, especially with the new points update. The bombers are fairly well priced, so we should be seeing quite a few of them out there. But on the subject of cards and cardboard, let's have a look and see what else we get in the box. So we have a fair amount of cardboard here, as always. We've got our pilot cards. Now we can see that there is the missing mark there on the TIE Whisper, but that shouldn't be too difficult to actually just get back on there with like a little bit of pen, or as we've seen in the errata, there is the bits that you can cut out and glue on there. If you're not really into that sort of thing, you can just mark it up yourself. I would suggest being extremely careful with that, using a nice small white pen and a good ruler. But we also get another range of tokens there, so target locks, strains, ship IDs, and the dials. Very good dials there for both ships. And on your second pack, all of the other tokens you may need if you do not already have acrylic tokens. Plenty of jam tokens there for you. We have the concussion bombs and the electro chaff. But all in all, a good amount of tokens if you are new to the game or are just running low on some of them. Now the most important part of any unboxing is going through the absolute stack of cards you get in here. With this pack you actually get 50 cards. So let's have a look at those pilots first. Now obviously we've all seen all of these, but it's always good to go through them again, especially if you're unsure of what you're going to be getting. So we have Kylo Ren in the TIE Whisper. Before an enemy ship in your bullseye is dealt a face down damage card, you may spend 1 force. If you do, that damage card is dealt face up instead. Well, that's just not very nice now, is it, Mr. Ren? But it'll be really good if you're using that. There's so many combinations where you can just absolutely wreck with that. As you can see, a lot of stats down the bottom there. You've got your 3 in bullseye, 2 of the mobile arc, 2 evades, 3 hull, 2 shields, 3 force for Kylo Ren, and a massive action bar which can be extended with the config card, as we'll see later. Here we have Wrath. After you perform a bullseye attack, if you have 1 or more non-lock red or orange tokens, you may perform a bonus attack against a different target. This could be quite interesting. Obviously getting yourself stressed and then double tapping is amazing. There doesn't seem to really be any downsides to that except for having to have that other token. But if it's a stress token, the dial on this is pretty good and it can get rid of that quite quickly, so he's definitely one to be looking out for. Here we have Nightfall at I4. After you fully execute a maneuver or perform a boost action, each ship you move through gains 2 jam tokens. That's just such a cool maneuver. You do a 3 sloop over the top of someone and then they get jammed, and then that combos quite nicely with some of the other cards in the pack. I3 Whirlwind. Before you engage, you may remove any number of jam tokens. Then you may gain 1 focus token for each enemy ship that has you in its arc. So this was definitely one that wants to get right in there and take on everything. As to how well it can survive that, I don't know. It's not a Fang fighter, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of shenanigans this ship can get up to. It's also worth noting that all of the TIE Whispers have the heavy weapons turret, so you can rotate your arc indicator only to your front or back. You must treat the forward arc requirement of your equipped missiles upgrade as the arc, so you can shoot missiles at the back. So your generic 709th Legion Ace, I4. It's quite nice having I4 generics there. I'm a big fan of running I4 combos. Now your I2, Red Fury Zealot. Again, really cool. I love the artwork on these, it's fantastic. Now moving on to the TIE SE Bomber. We have Breach. After you fully execute a maneuver or perform a boost action, if you move through an enemy ship, you may acquire a lock on that ship. Pursuit thrusters, during the system phase, you may perform a boost action. This is really good. I mean, just moving through a ship and acquiring a lock, the action economy on that is fantastic. So you could be doing red maneuvers or large maneuvers, getting that lock, and it's not an issue. That is really good. Scorch. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 1 performs a primary attack, it may spend 1 hit result. If it does, after defending, the defender gains 1 strain token. So this is quite good to get in there first, get that first hit, reduce their agility down, and then add some more pain with other ships later. So especially in a combo of I4s, this could be a really good card. Dread. After you reload, each ship in your bullseye gains 1 deplete token. So not only would you be taking the disarm token for reloading, but you're also reducing the amount of shots that might potentially be coming in at you. So really good, clever card there. And again, lovely artwork on these. Grudge, I2. While a friendly bomb or mine at range 0 to 2 detonates, each time attack dice are rolled to resolve this effect, you may re-roll up to 1 of those dice. So really doubling down on the pain that you can cause by bombs there. And you've got your I3 generic first order cadets, which you get 2 copies of those. And finally, your Sienna Jamis test pilot, and you also get 2 copies of those at I2. So that's your pilot cards there, guys. Lots of interesting cards. Obviously, let us know down in the comments which cards you're most excited about using and which pilots. Any combinations you think are going to look good. We always love to hear what you guys are flying as well, because it gives us some inspiration. But let's have a look at the upgrade cards now. So we've got quite a big stack of upgrade cards here. So really nice. Again, good for a squadron pack. So first up, we have the new talent, Feedback Ping. This is a TIE, and you must have the reload action. After an enemy ship executes a maneuver, if it is in range 0 to 1 of a friendly device, you may acquire a lock on that ship, ignoring range restrictions. Now you get 2 copies of that. More of the Ion Limiter Override. After you fully execute a red maneuver, you may perform a barrel roll action, even while stressed. If you do, roll an attack die. On a hit, gain 1 strain token. On a crit result, gain 1 ion token. And you get 2 copies of that. Now we have the new force upgrade, Compassion, Light Side. Before another friendly ship at range 0 to 2 would be dealt a face-up pilot or crew damage card, you may spend 1 force. If you do, the damage card is discarded instead, and you are dealt 1 face down damage card. Then, if you have 2 or more damage cards, recover 2 force. It's wordy, but I think it's actually quite straightforward. Where it will be used, I'm not entirely sure, because as far as I'm aware, Kylo Ren is dark side only, so can't actually take compassion. So this is definitely one more for the Rebels or Resistance. And you get 2 copies of that. Malice, this is the card everyone likes. While you perform an attack, you may spend 1 force to change 1 hit or 1 focus or hit result to a crit result. If you do, after you perform that attack, if the defender was dealt 1 or more face-up pilot or crew damage cards, recover 2 force. So it's almost like a reverse hate. You don't take the damage they do, and the potential to regain that force is crazy. So again, with the TIE Whisper, with Kylo Ren having access to the Force and the talent slot there's a lot of combinations. Deadeye Shot, for example, or Marksmanship that could really help there. Crackshot even to stop those evades. So a lot of options there to really double down on this. And you get 2 copies of that. Another new card that has been quite popular, Shattering Shot. While you perform an attack, if the attack is obstructed by an obstacle, or the defender is at range 0 of an obstacle, you may spend 1 force to add 1 focus result. Now I know a lot of people are saying Shattering Shot and Trick Shot is insane, and I completely agree. Absolute insanity, but it's just quite powerful. And you get 2 copies of those. Now some that we're more familiar with, Advanced Optics, Prime Thrusters, Sensor Scramblers. Gain 1 cloak token. While you are cloaked, other ships cannot acquire locks on you. During the end phase, if you are cloaked and there is an enemy ship at range 0 to 3, you must decloak. If you do, and that decloak fails, lose 1 cloak token. This is for the TIE Whisper or TIE Silencer. And you get 2 copies in there. So more ion torpedoes, cluster missiles, homing missiles, proton rockets. Now I don't know about you guys, but at this point you've probably got hundreds of those lying around, so they can make good coasters. The electro chaff missiles. So this is a missile and device. During the system phase, you may spend 1 charge from this card to launch 1 Electro Chaff Cloud using the 3 bank or 4 straight templates. Then place 1 fuse mark on it. This card's charge cannot be recovered. Now, rules for the Electro Chaff Cloud are in the actual book that comes with it. New color card, DT798. At the start of the engagement phase, you may choose a friendly ship in your firing arc. If you do, that ship gains 1 strain token. While you perform an attack, you may re-roll up to 1 die for each ship in the attack arc with 1 or more non-lock red or orange tokens. So you're basically giving yourself a re-roll there by hampering one of your other ships, but again, that can be really powerful, especially if you're affecting one of your weaker ships and then you get stronger attacks. I like that card. First order ordnance tech, and this gives you the reload to target lock white. 2 of those. Suppressive gunner, once again, this is one of Quinn's favourites. While you perform an attack, you may spend 1 focus result. If you do, the defender gains 1 deplete token unless it chooses to suffer 1 damage. 2 of those. Concussion bombs. During the system phase, if any of this card's charges are inactive, you must spend 1 charge to drop 1 concussion bomb if able. Otherwise, you may spend 1 charge to drop 1 concussion bomb. So once you start dropping these guys, unless you reload, you have to keep dropping these bombs. And you get 2 of those. And delayed fuses, which I think is a perfect addition to this pack. And finally, we get an engine upgrades and the config card, Enhanced Jamming Suite. While you jam, you can choose yourself or another friendly ship. While you defend, if the attacker has no green tokens or there is a jammed ship in the attack arc, you may roll one additional defense die. And I tell you, when you add this, the amount of actions your bar gets is insane. You're just you're spoiled for choice on what you're going to do. But again, very good, works very well with some of the pilots in there as well. Well guys, that's the Fury of the First Order pack. An absolutely fantastic pack there. Really looking forward to getting those on the table and seeing what damage we can do with those ships. They look fantastic. As I said, they are prime candidates for being magnetized, so if you're interested in magnetizing your ships, check the card in the top corner and you'll see our video on magnetizing ships. But guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you do like what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, don't forget we do have a Patreon with the link in the description below. But we will see you next time.